Good day, my dear 6th class students. I earlier taught you the first unit, that is about the clever Tenali Ramakrishna, and there are also two stories, 1,000 coins and the unexpected reward. All those stories I already taught you. There are many grammar exercises in that particular unit. For me to teach you the grammar exercises, you need to have the textbook, because there are many pages and they are very creative. There are a lot of creative exercises. So I want you to make sure that all of you have the textbooks. So once you have the textbooks, I will come back and teach you the exercises. So talk to your parents and get the textbooks. Now, this unit 2, there is a lesson by name The Snake Catcher. And also in that lesson there is another poem, The Correspondent Fishers. This is written by Srujana. That's a poem. Poems are normally a little bit difficult to follow than the prose. Here the story, Snake Catcher is a story. That's okay. Whereas here, Correspondent Fishers is a poem which has a subtle meaning. There is a message that she wants to convey. It looks like this poem is written when Indians are struggling to get the freedom. Okay, let me move on to the snake catcher lesson. This one, the story is about a snake catcher and the people in a village in Iraq, In short, the story is about a snake catcher whose livelihood is by showing the snakes and also the tricks he can get the snakes do. Based on that, he earns his livelihood. Now, after some time, people are kind of tired of watching the snakes again and again and again. So he is not getting enough income. Then he thought, okay, I think I should get a new snake or a better snake. So he goes and gets one big snake. The snake it's a dragon. He thought it's a big snake. It is in a dormant state. That means inactive state. It is sleeping. So this guy thought that the dragon is dead. So he wrapped it in a cloth and brought it to the town. And he started telling, hey, I killed a big snake. So I want you guys to see. So people all over, they came over to see what this guy is to present. Okay? There is a big crowd, a lot of people are watching. Suddenly, the dragon wakes up. He was shocked. He thought that the dragon is dead. Actually, it is in a sleeping mode. It's in a dormant state, inactive. So this guy thought it is dead. So he wrapped it up in a cloth and brought it, and suddenly it started moving. People started to cry. Shrieks with a lot of sounds. They were afraid. The dragon woke up and started eating whoever that comes in the front. Finally, after eating so many people, it ate the snake catcher also. So that is the total story. So here is a snake catcher in Iraq. His livelihood is to show the snakes and get some income. And after a while, people are used to all the snakes, so he started getting less income day by day, lesser income day by day. So he thought he would bring a new snake, and he went into the forest, out in the area, and he caught a dragon which is in a dormant or inactive state, or it is sleeping. This catcher thought that it is dead. So when he brought the dragon to Iraq, people started looking at it. They were curious what this big snake is about. So after a while, the dragon got up, and it was very fierce. Then it started eating the people, whoever that is coming in the way. And finally, it ate the snake catcher also. That is the whole story. The next, after this, we have a poem written by Srujana Naidu, very well-known person, a good freedom fighter. She wrote this about a poem about Correspondent fisher. It's about fishermen, what they do in the morning, and when they wake up, how they catch it, and things like that. I will read that after finishing the first portion. So, if you look at Unit 2, this is Unit 2. You see there are some people sitting here, and somebody is reading a newspaper. There is a grandma, there is a grandpa, mother, a boy and girl and all that. They are in front of a house. Now, here, look at the following picture and answer the questions that follow. Look at the picture and answer the questions that follow. The first one, do you have any pets at your house as shown in the picture? As shown in the picture, do you have any pets? Here you can see a dog is there. So you can see a dog and a teddy bear. Like that, there are several pets here. So, do you have any pet at your house? Are you comfortable with them? Are you comfortable with the pets? And then do you treat them in a friendly manner? Friendly manner treat chestava. If you find any strange animal, will you go near them? If you find any strange animal that you do not know, if you come get closer, will you go near them? So we'll come to that later on. So here is a picture with a grandpa and grandma and couple of boys and mother. In an evening, I think, the father is reading a newspaper. That is the photo or picture of this. Now let's move on. If you look at page number 18, 18. Look at page number 18. I will read the lesson. Once there was a man in Iraq. He lives in Iraq. Now, he was a snake catcher. Snake catcher into man paamulu pattarannamata. He caught different kinds of snakes and let them dance in bazaars, as it was his livelihood. So he catches a lot of snakes, takes them to the bazaar, and then let them dance, and based on that, people give him some, little bit of money, and from that he used to live. As the days went on, it became very common to the common people. అందరికీ కామన్గా మరి అందులో క్యూరియాసిటీ లేదు కామన్ టు పీపుల్. They lost interest in those street performances. ఈ street performances-లో people lost their interest. Hence, the snake catcher decided to go into the cold and snowy mountains in search of new kinds of snakes. ఇప్పుడు he reached new kinds of snakes, so పట్టడానికి he went into cold and snowy mountains. Snow అంటే cold ను చల్లగా ఉండే snow mountains ఆ ఏరియాలో వెళ్ళాడట. He wanted to display them to the town people and thereby raise a few coppers from the large crowd. ఎందుకు వెళ్ళాడు? He wanted to bring the snake from the snowy mountains and show it to the people and get some little bit of coppers. Coppers అంటే copper coins అన్నమాట. అంతే ఇక్కడ డబ్బులు అన్నమాట. So he wanted to display them to the town people and thereby raise a few coppers from the large crowd. Foolish man that he was, he searched through the snowy mountains. He found a terrible and fierce-looking dragon which seemed to quite dead from the cold. ఆ కోల్డ్ నుండి చనిపోయినట్టు కనబడిన ఒక డ్రాగన్ కనబడిందట. బట్ ఇట్ వాజ్ ఇన్ ఏ డార్మెంట్ స్టేట్, ఇన్యాక్టివ్ స్టేట్. ఐ టోల్డ్ యూ ఇట్ వాజ్ స్లీపింగ్. ఇట్ వాజ్ బిగ్ అండ్ లుక్ అట్రాక్టివ్ ఇన్ గోల్డెన్ ఎల్లో కలర్. అది ఎలా ఉంది? అది చాలా పెద్దగా ఉంది. అండ్ ఇట్ లుక్ ఈ గోల్డ్ అండ్ ఎల్లో కలర్లో వెరీ అట్రాక్టివ్. He bundled up the cold creature in a cloth and tied it up with a string. దాన్ని ఏం చేశారు? క్లాత్లోనే దాన్ని బండిల్ చేశారు. కట్టలా కట్టేసి తాడు కూడా కట్టేశాడట. అండ్ క్యారీడ్ ఇట్ డౌన్ టు ది టౌన్. వెంటనే ఇంటికి టౌన్కి తీసుకుని వెళ్ళాడట. He was dreaming that this mighty dragon would change his fate. ఫేట్ అంటే వీడి కర్మ. అంటే ఇంతకుముందు తక్కువ డబ్బులు వచ్చేవి కదా, ఇప్పుడు మామూలుగా వచ్చే డబ్బులు వస్తాయని అనుకున్నాడు. ఏమనుకున్నాడు? ఈ మైటీ డ్రాగన్ చూసి పీపుల్ విల్ గివ్ మీ మోర్ మనీ, సో మై ఫేట్ విల్ చేంజ్ అని అనుకున్నాడట. ఏమన్నాడు? హీ వాజ్ డ్రీమింగ్ దట్ దిస్ మైటీ డ్రాగన్ వుడ్ చేంజ్ హిస్ ఫేట్. పీపుల్ వుడ్ అడ్మైర్ హిస్ బ్రేవ్ యాక్ట్ అండ్ ట్రీట్ హిమ్ ఇన్ ఎ సెరమోనియల్ వే. ఏమనుకున్నాడు? పీపుల్ అందరూ నన్ను చాలా పెద్ద బ్రేవ్ మ్యాన్ అనుకుని చెప్పి పెద్ద వైభవంగా చూస్తారేమో అనుకున్నాడు. He might get a lot of money so that he could lead a luxurious life. ఏమనుకున్నాడు? He thought that he could get a lot of money so that he could lead a luxurious life. Now this completes the page number 18. Now we move on to page 19. He reached a bazaar in the town. Bazaar and man తెలుస్తే bazaar అంటాము. In the town. Look, he shouted out to the town people, look what I have brought. చూడండి నేనేం తెచ్చాను. With great difficulty and untiring search from the mountains. చాలా కష్టపడి untiring search అంటే విసుగు చెందకుండా అలసిపోకుండా సెర్చ్ చేసి తీసుకొచ్చాను అంటున్నాడు. And the crowd grew so thick that people, they rallied. The town people who came from far and near looked eagerly at it. అది చూశాడు. Sorry, I missed one sentence here. Come and see this terrible and fierce-looking dragon which I have killed. అన్నాడు. ఏమన్నాడు? బయట మౌంటైన్స్ నుంచి తెచ్చాను. Come and see this terrible and fierce-looking dragon which I have killed. నేను చంపిన డ్రాగన్ చూడండి అన్నమాట. The town people who came far and near looked eagerly at it. They rallied around the dragon, and the crowd grew so thick that people jostled against one another, all craning their necks to catch a glimpse of that fierce and terrible dragon. So thick అవగానే ఏమయ్యారు? అందరూ వాళ్ళు తోసుకొని పావును చూద్దామని, ఆ డ్రాగన్ చూద్దామని ఆతృతగా మూవ్ అవుతున్నారట. they were really astonished. When they saw the dragon, they were really astonished. Chala ఆశ్చర్యపోయారు. They had never seen such a strange creature. అంత స్ట్రేంజ్గా వింతగా ఉన్నటువంటి creature చూడలేదట. It was bigger than any snake that they had ever seen before. వాళ్ళు ఇంతవరకు చూసిన స్నేక్ అన్నిటికన్నా ఇది పెద్దట. In the town, the sun grew hotter, and by the warmth of the rays, the dragon began to emerge slowly from its frozen state. In the town, Iraq అంటే అక్కడ మనకి ఇక్కడ వేడిగా ఉంటుంది. In the town, the sun grew hotter. సూర్యుడు బాగా వేడెక్కాడు. And by the warmth of the rays, ఆ రేస్ సూర్య కిరణాల వల్ల వేడి వల్ల the dragon began to emerge slowly from its frozen state. Frozen state నుండి బయటికి స్లోగా వచ్చిందంట. It had not been dead at all, but merely frozen without outward movement. అది చచ్చిపోలేదు. It is not dead at all. It is only frozen without any outward movement. Slowly, the dragon in the bundle started moving. బండిల్ చేసిందట, కథలు మొదలైంది. Soon it burst forth from the cloth and string that had been tied around it. ఒకసారి ఫోర్త్ ఒకసారి గొడ్డ నుండినో ఆ స్ట్రింగ్ నుండి తెంపేసి బయటకు వచ్చిందట. The town people were filled with terror. భయంతో town people terrorతో at the sight of the fierce dragon. ఆ డ్రాగన్ ఇప్పుడు అది లేచిందో చూస్తే అందరూ చాలా భయపడిపోయారు. They could not believe what was going and what was going on. They could not believe what was going on. ఏమిటవుతుందో అందరూ నమ్మలేకపోయారు. The snake catcher said he had killed the dragon. వాడు ఏమన్నాడు, నేను ఈ డ్రాగన్ చంపేశాను అన్నాడు. చంపించేది వచ్చింది అబద్ధం ఆడాడు అనమాట. But the dragon came back from the dead as it was. చచ్చిపోయినప్పటి నుండి చచ్చిపోయిన స్థితిలో వచ్చిందట. అంటే వీడు అనుకున్నాడు అలాగా. They ran away from it in panic. People అందరూ భయపడుతూ ప్యానిక్గా బయటికి వెళ్ళిపోయారు. క్రషింగ్ ఈచ్ అదర్, వాళ్ళు భయపడుతూ పెద్ద గుమిగూడారు కాబట్టి వాళ్ళు తోసుకొని పడిపోతూ వెళ్ళిపోయారు. They ran away from it in panic, crushing each other as a flood. Shrieks filled the streets. Shriek అంటే అరుపులు, చావు కాకల్లాడు గట్టిగా అరుపులన్నీ మీద నిండిపోయాడు. The dragon, mighty serpent that it was, devoured whoever was in its path, and finding a pillar, entwined itself around it, eating alive the man who thought he had easily captured a terrible and fierce-looking dragon. This is only one sentence here. I will break it down into just look at this. Okay? The dragon, mighty serpent, it was, devoured whoever in its path, and finding a pillar somebody to see, entwined itself around it, eating alive the man who thought he had easily captured. ఎవరైతే తనని ఈజీగా క్యాప్చర్ చేసుకున్నాను అని అన్నాడో వాడు కూడా తినేసి ఈ స్తంభాన్ని చుట్టిందట. యూ కెన్ సీ దట్ హౌ షీ entwined, దారం అంటే ట్రైన్ దారం అంటే ఎంట్వైండ్, దాని చుట్టూరును చుట్టిందనమాట. సో దట్ ఈస్ ది స్టోరీ. ది స్టోరీ వాజ్ రిటన్ బై మౌలానా Jalaluddin Rumi. He or she, Maulana means that is the name of the author. So this story is about a snake catcher. I hope you understand. So in Iraq, somebody is in Iraq. There was a catcher. In Iraq, there is a snake catcher. In Iraq, there was a snake catcher. So you heard the story of the snake catcher. The poor guy. He is a snake catcher. He has been showing snakes to the people in Iraq, in the bazaar. People are tipping him, are giving him small tips. From that income, he leads his life. That means that is his livelihood. You must have seen, many of you have seen some snake charmers, snake catcher and actually snake charmers. They come and display the snake. There is also a snake charming instrument they will use it so that the snake can dance and all that. So they normally raise some income. So after some time, people are used to all the snakes that he has. So what he did is his income started getting reduced. So he thought he will go to the snowy mountains and get big snake there. So he went there. He brought a dragon, which is actually it is sleeping. It is because of the cold weather there, it was sleeping. So this guy thought it was dead. So he caught it and wrapped up in his cloth and then twined with a thread. He tied it. Then he brought it and tried to show it to the people in the bazaars of Iraq. So people were very, very curious. My God, this guy brought a big snake. So everybody was curious. There were so many people assembled there to see. One is pushing the other and all that. And it so happened as the sun's rays came out, it is getting a little bit warmer. So the dragon woke up. When he saw the people, it started eating one after the another. And finally, it twined, there was a big lamp post, it he finally ate the snake catcher also. So, the conclusion you can draw from this is you have to be careful in handling the animals. Particularly, if you don't know the animal, you have to be really careful. That is the reason why in the front page they have shown a very, very casual photo of an evening, father reading a newspaper and grandmother giving some cookies to the boy, and the grandfather telling something to the girl, and there are several pet animals here. That's why they ask here, do you like pet animals? Do you have any pet animals? Do you go near an animal whom you did not see? Things like that, there are questions here. Now, my friends, that's all the story. Next time I will teach you about the coromandel fishes. That is a little bit difficult, than the snake catcher. Snake catcher is a story. That one is the coromandel fishes is like a description of a morning. Fisherman, the water, the sky, the sunrise, and it's a poetic expression written by our famous Srujana Naidu. I want to say a poem is a little bit more difficult than a prose, but a student who reads the lesson with understanding is not difficult at all. So once again, I want you to read the lesson with understanding. You know that it's a Srujana's practice that in a total, on the whole, student has to read the lesson 7 times, out of which, with the guidance of the teacher, maybe 2 or 3 times, the rest of them on his own. So here, there are some meanings that were given here. Display means to show. So, to show something to people. Similarly, coppers, brown coins, used as currency. At one time, manaki kani, kani undidi. Kani, it's made out of copper. So, similarly, even now, I think in United States, the pennies are made out of copper. And a dragon. Dragon is a large, aggressive animal with wings and a long tail. Jostled, pushed roughly against somebody in a crowd. మన క్రౌడ్ ఉన్నప్పుడు అసలు మనం వెళ్ళాలంటే ఏం చేస్తాం? పక్కన చేసుకుంటాం కదా, అలా అనమాట. ట్రైనింగ్, టు లెర్న్, టు లీన్ or stitch over something to see better. అది ట్రైనింగ్ అంటే అది చూద్దామని ఒక్కొక్కసారి మనం ముందు చేస్తాం కదా, అదనమాట. glimpse, a brief view. Now, then frozen తెలిసిందే మీకు, ఐస్ క్రీమ్ is a frozen, kept at a very low temperature in order to preserve. Devoured, ate all of something quickly. Devoured అంటే అది. Dormant, inactive or sleepy అని చెప్పాను కదా. Shriek, a loud cry. Entwined, curled or twisted around. Very good, interesting story here it is. And then, like I told, there are several exercises. I want you to get the book so that I can teach you. I am also thinking if I can combine the grammar for all the classes from 6 to 10, see if I can teach them to in a common basis, then everybody will get the benefit. That way I don't have to repeat many number of times. I can teach the lesson more. I can teach the lesson more number of times. More number of times. That means if you have an exercise, I can teach that repeat and repeat and repeat. That way it will be better for you. So anyway, important thing is get the textbook. Okay? If you like it, share it. Thank you.